Well, Andy, I think the first thing for us to do before we can really get serious about working with brands, working with digital publishers, is making our assets easily consumable and available for those publishers. They are not your typical broadcast customers that we normally serve. We have a large business distributing real-time content to the CNNs and BBCs of the world. Making that content available in a simple, easy way to brands, to digital publishers, is a major initiative for us. So there are kind of two ways we're looking at it. One is first making sure that all of the real-time content we create, that is live content and that is the kind of daily news file that we produce, is easily available, both from a kind of technological perspective, but also from a commercial model perspective. We're rethinking those models and letting people, particularly brands, buy news from us in different ways that might not match up with how a news publisher normally purchases content. So that's one piece of it, is simply addressing those commercial needs. The other is, and around real-time content, the other is going back into our archive. We're sitting on something like 25,000 hours of undigitized film and video content. That's to say, it's sitting in a basement. If you want that content today, you've got to place an order, you've got to wait 3 or 4 days to get that content, to get it fulfilled and be able to use it. That is not really matched up with where the digital world is today. It's very much a on-demand publishing universe. And so we have begun a major initiative to digitize that content, going to bring to bear in the market a lot of stuff over the next 2 to 3 years, which we're really excited about, because this is going to help digital publishers, news publishers, and brands tell stories and reach audiences and create engaging experiences. So we have a platform called Media Express, and that's a platform that typically, today is used by agency customers. We're opening that up for more different types of purchasing activities, opening it up to brands, to different sorts of models. I'm not going to go as far as saying we'll have, one-off buys off that platform, but we probably will over time. We need to evolve the technology and back end there to support it. But at the end of the day, it needs to be digital. It needs to be real time. Someone needs to be able to search for a file, click on it, download it to a timeline, and publish. I think that the number one theme is something I think we spoke about, which is that publishers want inventory. The digital advertising rise is unstoppable. It continues to grow, and people want to publish video assets alongside their traditional material. So when it comes to what the form is, I think we're pretty open-minded. You know that we supply raw video to broadcast publishers, to digital publishers. We also provide packaged content to digital publishers and broadcast customers. I think what we're seeing is, a sort of let the best asset tell the story in the best way possible. So if you've just seen, someone come out of a boat in Massachusetts after a terror attack, you don't necessarily need narration there, and the live content will suffice alongside a text article or maybe in a stream of content a la Facebook or Twitter. And so I think there are moments when we need to do deep storytelling, when we're going to package stuff up, give it a spin, give it an opinion perhaps. And there are moments when we're just going to distribute the raw assets and make it really easy for publishers to tell a breaking news story or show their audience a sort of really important asset in how they're telling that story. We're seeing really interesting, diverse use cases. We have some customers coming to us saying, look, give us the raw video. We sold to an automaker recently. Give us the raw video because we're going to create programming around issues that we care about, that we think our audience cares about. For example, electric cars. So we have a lot of environmental content. We have weather content that might relate to that. We have science content that might relate to it. Then you also have publishers who might just want straight news. So here's what's happening in a given market. If you're a financial institution and you're talking about BRIC countries or RDEs, what's happening in India and China, and then we might have straight news syndication. So I think for the brands, there are different kinds of value propositions out there, different kinds of use cases for the video that we have. In terms of breaking news video, video that's difficult, video that might display tragedy, what's going on in Syria, for example, many brands do think twice about associating themselves with that kind of content. On the other hand, if it's, look, we're interested in telling you what's going on in the world, we're interested in having that conversation, then they're less likely to shy away. I think the whole PR model is changing. There is a move, if you think about this kind of, it's almost like an economy of attention, right? There's only so many minutes in any given day anyone can consume content. So there's this attention economy, and people are looking for value. So the straightforward positive PR thing is not really working. So people have to get real about the messages they're telling if they're going to engage. And I think news can play a role there. People know what the world's like. They don't think the world is always rosy, and I think they can deal with, some of the tragedies, some of the difficult stories that we see coming out every day.